Hi there, and welcome. Let's just acknowledge right up front. The journey of infertility can feel incredibly heavy. You might be feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or just seeking answers. And honestly, that is completely okay. Today, we're going to demystify IVF together. We'll walk through your step-by-step journey, making everything as clear and understandable as possible.
To help ease some of that anxiety, we're going to walk through a reassuring roadmap today. We'll cover what IVF actually is, the ovum pickup, the lab stage, and the embryo transfer. Finally, we'll wrap up with post-procedure care and emotional support. Every single phase of your journey is going to be addressed.
So, let's dive right into part 1. What exactly is IVF? In vitro fertilization, or IVF, can sound kind of intimidating and highly clinical, right? But simply put, it's a process where we carefully gather your eggs and then use them to create a delicate embryo in a secure, specialized lab. Once that tiny embryo is ready, it is gently placed right back into your uterus. Moving on to step 2. This is the ovum pickup, which is also known as egg retrieval. Let's take the mystery out of this right away.
Now, hearing the words operation theater might make you nervous, but please don't worry. This is a really quick, minimally invasive daycare procedure that only takes about 10 to 15 minutes. First, you're given a gentle anesthesia so you'll be completely asleep. Then, using ultrasound for precise guidance, the doctor uses a very thin needle to gently aspirate or draw out fluid from your follicles.
And I really want to highlight something reassuring from your care team. There are no surgical cuts, and you feel absolutely no pain. Because you are completely asleep, you won't feel a thing, and you usually get to go home just 4 hours later.
Next up is the third phase, the lab stage. This is literally where the magic happens and life begins.
Behind the scenes, fertilization happens under incredibly protective conditions. The strict sterility in these labs is absolutely fascinating. Instead of standard spirits, they use special non-toxic cleansers. The embryologists wear non-powdered gloves, and they aren't even allowed to wear perfumes or nail polish. All of this ensures your embryo is fiercely protected while it grows inside advanced, temperature-controlled incubators.
That brings us to step 4, the embryo transfer, placing the embryo.
Now this step actually feels very different from the egg retrieval we just talked about. For the retrieval, you're completely asleep with an empty bladder. But for the embryo transfer, you're awake and you need to have a full bladder. You might be wondering, why a full bladder? Well, it actually pushes your uterus into the absolute perfect position so the doctor can see everything clearly with the ultrasound. During this step, the doctor uses a delicate two-part catheter to safely and precisely place the embryo into the ideal spot in your uterine lining. This requires absolutely no anesthesia. The discomfort is minimal, and it beautifully mimics the natural, safe environment of the womb.
Okay, Chapter 5, Post-Procedure Care. You're finally going home, so let's clarify exactly what you should do.
First things first, we really need to debunk a massive myth here. Complete 24/7 bed rest is simply not required. In fact, doing your light, routine daily activities is perfectly safe and even encouraged. You just need to avoid sudden jerks, heavy lifting, or any extreme physical strain.
Here are a few really practical, everyday tips for when you get home. Try to avoid deep squats. Using a commode is a great idea. It's also helpful to shower while seated. Now, you'll be prescribed hormonal support medications like progesterone, which helps support your uterine lining. It is super important to take those exactly on time. Oh, and if you have any discomfort from injections, just use a little ice to soothe the area. Finally, we reach Chapter 6, emotional support.
Clinic after
because
years
honestly,
of
the
quiet
science
heartbreak.
is only half the story.
Extraction,
After the
fertilization,
transfer, you're
and
looking
finally,
at a 10
transfer.
to 12 day wait before
That
you can take a
transfer is the
pregnancy test.
absolute last
And I
physical
want to remind
action
you of
a doctor
something
can
important.
take.
IVF
Science
isn't
hits a
just
hard
science.
clinical
It
blind
is an
spot at
emotion,
the implantation
resilience,
phase.
and a profound
There is no
journey.
mechanism to force
If you're feeling
attachment.
a mix of wild
The second the
anticipation
embryo
and
leaves the
anxiety right now,
catheter, the
please know
microscope
that is
goes dark.
completely 100%
Medical science
normal.
steps back,
So,
forcing the
most
patient
important
to face
question I
that
can leave you
uncontrollable
with
void
is this.
entirely alone.
What questions can
The
you
sterile
ask your care
laboratory is
team
quickly
today?
replaced by the quiet
Never,
anxiety
ever
of the
hesitate
patient's
to
own
reach
home.
out to your doctors with any worries or fears you might still have. You are absolutely not alone on this journey. Thank you so much for learning with us today.